So you've been working out or dieting, or maybe a combination of the two, but you're still not seeing the belly fat come off. You're still not seeing the weight go down, and you're still not seeing your clothes fit the way you want them to. So in this video, I'm gonna share the reasons why you're not seeing the results that you want and what steps you need to start to take, and so that you can get the results that you want. Now, before we dive in, if you find the video helpful, be sure to hit that like button and the subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos. Let's get to the action. Reason number one, you're eating healthy, but you're not eating in a calorie deficit. Guys, listen, I used to have issues with this too. I felt like I was doing everything right, but I still wasn't getting the results that I want. And I'll be transparent with you guys. I really didn't have a whole lot of weight to lose or anything like that. I was, grew up playing sports. I was in shape, but I didn't have that lean cut, shredded look that I wanted. I would look at guys on the cover of Men's Health and Muscle and Fitness magazine, and these guys were shredded. And I was like, okay, how do I get my abs that cut? How do I get that lean? And so I thought that all I needed to do was just eat healthy. And so I was eating turkey burgers, chicken breasts, broccoli, even though I hate eating broccoli. I was eating sweet potatoes and, brown rice all the time. And I'm like, okay, I'm eating and doing the right thing here with my nutrition. I'm working out almost every single day, sometimes multiple times a day. And I'm still looking in the mirror, but not seeing the definition that I want to see. So I was just like most people. I thought that just eating healthy and clean, I thought that was eating proper. But I wasn't aware that we could overeat on healthy food, and in some cases, people get fat because they're overeating. They're just completely over consuming on calories, much more than what they need to be eating on a daily basis, and they end up getting bigger. And so if you're one of those people and you're standing on a scale every week or every other day, and you're like, man, why is this weight not going down? Man, I feel like I'm getting bigger. The reason why is because you're eating more than what's required for you to drop body fat. And so on a daily basis, guys, I don't care how healthy you eat, how clean you eat, you have to eat less than what's required for you to maintain your current weight. And so you gotta put yourself into a calorie deficit, and just eating clean doesn't put us in a calorie deficit. So that's the first thing you wanna pay attention to. You can go over to Google and type in BMR calculator or TDEE calculator, and it'll give you an estimate on how many calories you need to eat on a daily basis just to, maintain your current weight. But obviously you want to drop body fat, so you need to reduce that calorie intake that it gives you by 300 to 500 calories, so that way you can be in a deficit. And just this part alone, you'll start dropping body fat, okay? You don't have to eat extremely healthy. You probably seen me share this in other videos if you've been watching my YouTube channel for a minute, but just follow the 80-20 rule. You don't have to always eat healthy. You just eat healthy 80% of the time. Then the other 20% of the time, we eat our favorite foods, baby. We eating burgers, tacos, pancakes, pizza, whatever it is. Those are my foods that I like to eat. But whatever you prefer to eat, if it's ice cream, I don't care what it is, you can eat those foods, but you gotta be in a deficit. And not only that, just make sure that you're tracking what you're consuming. And so use an app like MyFitnessPal to start tracking your daily calories. Track your macros, your proteins, carbs, and fats. These are our macros. And so that way, you're not just eating healthy and thinking that you're eating the right amount of food, you know that you're eating the right amount of food. And so that way, as you're dropping weight, as you're getting the results, you can look back and say, okay, well, I was eating 1,500 calories and that was helping me drop body fat. Or I was eating 2,000 calories and I noticed I really wasn't seeing the weight coming off when I was eating 2,000 calories. And so now you can reflect back on what steps you've been taking, what habits, what your eating habits have been, and you can make educated decisions on what steps you need to take moving forward. And so that way you can get results consistently, and most importantly, you can keep those results. Reason number two, you must identify your daily triggers, guys. I don't hear many trainers talk about this. What I hear most trainers telling people is you're not working out hard enough. You need to cut back on carbs. You need to sell your soul to eating chicken and broccoli. But nobody's saying what the root issue of why people are gaining weight. And the root issues are most times our triggers. It's not always the meal plan, having the best meal plan. It's not always about having the best workout plan. It's about understanding the root issues. I'm talking about things like being overwhelmed from work and life. I'm talking about having anxiety. I'm talking about being bored. Like, these are triggers that cause us to binge eat. These are triggers that cause us to drink alcohol and use these things as kind of like coping mechanisms for the stress that we tend to go through in life. And so what I recommend you do is just start to identify when you start to go off your diet, when you start to fall off your workout plan. Like, what are the things that are causing you to fall off that diet or workout plan? And then you want to write them down. Like, get a journal, guys. Like, this is how we become self-aware, because the way I look at it, losing weight and getting in shape, all it is personal development. And personal development requires self-awareness. And so you want to be aware of what things are causing you to self-sabotage. So grab a journal, start writing down all the things that cause you to feel angry, all the things that cause you to feel anxiety, all the things that cause you to feel bored. And once you understand what these triggers are, now you can start to create solutions to these triggers. If you're bored all the time, find different ways to entertain yourself outside of eating food. If you're having a lot of anxiety because you're thinking about something in the future, something that we cannot control, find things that you could do in the moment that takes your mind off of the future. And if you're finding yourself eating out of that anxiety or boredom, then do something else with your time. Because the truth is, we all have these triggers, but it's all about changing the response that we have to these triggers. And so if I'm bored, instead of me going to grab something to eat, instead I might say, let me go do a workout, or hey, let me go for a walk, or let me go call one of my friends or check up on one of my family members and see how they're doing. You're basically changing the response that you normally have to those triggers. Reason number 3, trying to outwork poor nutrition habits. Now listen, I'm all for working hard. You know, if you guys been following me for any length of time, you know I'm all about leaning into doing the hard stuff, because most times the obstacle is the way. The resistance is what's gonna allow us to have that breakthrough. But here's the thing, working out hard but having poor nutrition habits, that's the wrong way. That's not the smart way. Now, what I'm not telling you to do is not to work hard, but what I'm saying is there's a simpler and easier and smarter way to go about doing it. And we do this by allowing our nutrition to do the heavy lifting for us. Like, guys, I used to work out 6-7 days a week because I thought that I had to work out that amount. But now I'm only working out 3-4 days a week, and I'm able to get even better results and sustain my results much easier because I don't have to worry about burning myself out from working out all the time and, you know, sacrificing the things that I need to be doing in my business because I got to be in the gym. Instead, I focus on whenever I get super busy, I'm gonna dial in my nutrition to support my life and the schedule that I have at that time. So instead of doing things on hard mode by working out and having poor nutrition habits, I 100% prefer to work hard in the gym because, you know, I like the way it makes me look, I like the way it makes me feel, but at the same time, I wanna be able to not have to feel like I'm killing myself or I'm suffering to be able to get results or barely get results. And so instead, I'm focusing on dialing in my nutrition, eating the right amount of food, tracking my macros, so that way I know I'm gonna be able to get results. Because guys, 80% of the results that we get from fat loss or if we're building muscle, it's the nutrition. It's not lifting. You know, even if you wanna build muscle and not drop body fat, you have to eat the right amount of food to be able to build muscle. Because if you don't eat enough, even though you're lifting heavy, you still won't build up the muscle like you want to. You still won't build that mass. And so you gotta nail down nutrition. There's just no way around it. And nutrition is like the foundation. I feel like every single man should have, and woman, should have a fundamental level of knowledge on proper nutrition. Not just to, you know, optimize our looks and to drop weight or build mass, but also be healthy. And we can pass on these habits to our children and our family, and so that they can, you know, have better habits to grow up and live healthy and strong and, you know, just have that energy and gusto to be able to tackle and conquer life. Reason number 4, you're having diet off days. Guys, listen, I get it. I know you want to drop weight fast. I know you want to get rid of that belly fat, get rid of that gut, but there's a right and a wrong way to do it. What I see most guys doing, and here's the big mistake, they're doing these severe calorie deficits without any type of a plan. And so what happens is they take off days and they start binge eating. They start drinking whatever they want to drink, the beer, the alcohol, the wine, all this kind of stuff, but they're over consuming on it because they're just taking a complete day off. They just get the effort during the weekend because they just can't bear to continue to eat chicken and broccoli every day. They can't bear to eat another plate of fish and vegetables. But here's the thing, even though that could work, it's just not sustainable. And the reason it's not sustainable is because you feel like you need off days. And the off days is what's sabotaging your results. And so instead of having these off days, have reward meals, okay? And so you can still have the weekends where you enjoy, you know, your bourbon or your tequila or your wine or whatever it is you might want to drink, or whether it might be something that you just want to eat. You can still do this, but instead of allotting that entire day to be, you know, a cheat day, you know, just have a cheat/reward meal. I like to call them reward meals because we earned that meal. We're not just eating it just to eat it because we want to feel good. We're like trying to take our day off because of all the stress that we went through and suffering that we went through during the week. And so just have more reward meals, 1, 2, maybe 3 times throughout the weekend and the week. And so that way you can get the results you want, and you'll be able to sustain those results because you're not over consuming. Because even though we're eating reward meals, we're still mindful of how much we're eating over the course of a day. Guys, at the end of the day, if we want to drop body fat, we have to still be in a calorie deficit, or we can bump our calories up to maintenance, all right? That goes into a little bit of carb cycling. I'll put a link down in the description, and so you can watch my carb cycling video. But that's how you do it, guys. You don't have to, you know, give up your favorite foods just because you want to drop body fat, and you don't have to do these super restrictive diets just be able to drop body fat and lose weight. But you do have to have healthier eating habits that you can realistically sustain long term. And so that way, even during the week, that 80% where you're eating healthy, you're eating good, you have that other 20% where you can still enjoy yourself, and that's how you're gonna be able to get results now and keep those results long term. All right, champs, if you found the video helpful, be sure to hit that like button and the subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos. And then also, if you want more help from me, if you want a step-by-step game plan on exactly, you know, how to dial in your nutrition, how to dial in your workouts, and so that way you can start getting the results you want a lot faster, down in the description, you'll see a link to be able to book a game plan Zoom call with me. And so that way we can set up a game plan with your nutrition, with your workouts. And so that way you can start getting results much faster. You're not having to worry about wasting your time, not knowing if you're doing the right things and feeling confused. And so feel free to hit that link, book that Zoom call with me if you feel like that's something that you're ready for. And other than that, guys, let's get to the action. We out.